Okay. Hello, everybody. Does that stream seem dark to you?
It does.
I think that must be one of the new settings on here. Anyways, I hope you can see us. I hope you can hear us. I'm just going to check on my...
Actually, up there it looks okay.
Yeah, it looks okay here too.
Yeah.
I think it's just
Yeah.
I think there's a setting on that now.
It does.
Yeah. Okay. Everything's good. Little flustered today, people. And we're going to talk about why, and it's even how I got on here today is a bit of a story in itself. But anyways, we are here. And by the way, we're out of Guinness.
Oh, okay.
I'm drinking
I didn't realize.
a Stella the
yeah.
Twat. Yes.
That's because your brother-in-law drank.
They drank all my beer.
And I didn't check.
Yeah. So anyways, let's see who's here and say hello to everybody that's coming in. And then we'll tell you all about the fun things about our new Apple toys and the hell I've just gone through. So Barb is here. Hi, Barb and Inez. Brenda Mitchell's here. You weren't first today, Brenda. You were third. Sandy Compton's here. Johanna is here. Jacqueline we saw yesterday at Ultimate Sewing. Jacqueline came up to me and says, "Oh, you're the idiot quilter." You see, so it was always nice to find a fan, kind of a thing, not a celebrity here, okay? I mean, I buy fabric just like everybody else does, 1 meter at a time.
Yeah.
Several meters at a time, actually. Candace is here. A hot day in Georgia. And Tamala is here. Candace, I already said Candace. Susan's here. Gloria is here. Derek is here. Jen is here. Janet Fraser's here. Mona is here. She says, listening while driving back to Tucson from White Sands National Park in New Mexico. And Susanna's here. Sue Northfleet's here. Hey, Stephen, I just downloaded a tub full of Juju embroidery designs. There's a sale. Stop it, Sue. I just downloaded one too for a table runner on sale. So yeah, I'm trying to hold back. Del Marie is here from Northern California. And Philippa's here. Hi, Philippa. Where it's Monday morning over there. Over in the land down under. Sherry Cook is here. Did I say hi to Delmar? Oh, wait, I think I've skipped a few here. The thing went crazy on me. Oh, back it up. Patsy's here. Jean E is here, not to be mixed up with Jeannie. Charlotte and Dana. And nope, they are not new shirts, Dana. These are ones, well, they're newer ones. That one's probably your newest shirt.
Yeah, this is my newest one. I got it finished last week. That one he's had for a while.
Yeah, so. I have had it for a while. And you see, they wash really well. And I do not iron them. And they're pretty good. There's really no wrinkles in this.
No, actually, that's one. That is actually a very nice fabric that I worked with. So, and it's just quilting cotton.
Yeah. Well, what kind was it?
I'm not sure what the name of it
don't
is.
Have salvage,
Yeah,
so can't read that. Jackie's here. Hi, Jackie. Sherry, I think I said hello, Sherry, but I'll say it again. Dubrovka is here. From Timmins, way up. Kathy is here from Utica, Michigan. Shirley's here from Around To It. Kay's Purple Wall is here. Kay is here. Evelyn is here. Melissa is here. It says, hi, Walter, Stephen, and all. Harvest is a wrap here at Kyle, Saskatchewan. And Pam is here from Minnesota. Donna is here. Kim is here from Nova Scotia. We've got everybody from coast to coast. And from north of the 49th and south of the 49th. Robert Cox is here. Hi, Robert. Stephanie is here. Ooh, she's buttering us up. Hello, handsome gentleman. Great shirts. Oh, Stephanie, what do you want, Stephanie? Just a joke. Sherry Jones is here, and Faith is here. So the whole gang is here. That's pretty good. So let's get on with what I've been working on. Now, Walter, he's still working on that last shirt that he showed last week.
Yeah, I know. I haven't gotten around to it this week, and I don't really have that much left to go on it. I mean, I did a lot of it on one day, and then I really need to get on with it.
Oh, Barb says, to Stephanie. It would be funny if they showed up one time with no shirts. Oh, that's not happening, dear.
No.
No.
I don't. No. I never not wear a shirt.
No. We are not those kind of boys, okay?
I mean, the guy 2 doors down often doesn't wear a shirt.
Yeah, but he's advertising.
Yeah.
He goes to the gym a lot, so he's a bit, cut with that. We are not. We are not. Not showing my girls to anybody out there. Betty's here. Hi, Betty. Okay, so what was I going to show? Oh, yeah, I was going to show you this. So let me get this up here on the screen. And this is Stephanie's quilt, her Cozy Stars. Let me get it up here. I got to make sure. I rearranged my buttons on my thing, so I want to make sure I hit the right one. There we go. Okay, so the top is all done. And I have it quilted as well, for that matter. I ran into a little problem. I will talk about it on Idiot Quilter, okay, with it, which makes me a little sad because I was thinking this one might be one that I could enter it to the Brooklyn Spring Fair, which is a local fair a few miles away from us.
Well, you can pick it all out.
Yeah, no, I'll just make another one, a different one.
Give it to me and I can pick it out.
No, it's not that bad on the back, but I did have a little tension problem. The front's okay, but the back, not. But this is not quilted, this one you're seeing here. This was the top before I got it on Lucy yesterday. Or no, that was Friday I got it on Lucy. Yesterday was a horrendous day, as you're going to find out very soon why. Okay, and why is that not moving? Okay, I don't know why that did that, but now this one, yes, I know it is very, very busy. Okay, and it's very, very busy for a reason. This one,
you call that tic-tac-toe?
Yeah, really, no. It is my Christmas Gnomes quilt, or I could call it Busy Little Gnomes quilt, whatever. This is just the top. It's sitting out there waiting to be done on Lucy as well. I made this up as I went along. I had some charm packs and a strip pack and I found a panel too. So I cut off some pieces of the panel in there. And I just went to town making a whole bunch of stars, putting gnomes in the center of each, and the gnomes are peeking around. Somebody said, put a comment in the show note, not the show notes, but a comment on my Idiot Quilter this week and said, she wasn't a quilter, but she kind of wondered if it wouldn't been better if I had fussy cut so that you got whole gnomes. Yes, it might have been, but I didn't. 2 reasons. And I'm going to talk about those 2 reasons on Idiot Quilter this week. Why I didn't do that. And I'm sure a lot of you will understand the reasons behind it. But like she said, she's not a quilter, so she wasn't sure. I'm not worried. This was a palette cleanser. It was there. I want to do something. I think I mentioned last week or this past week on my things. I've not been in. I've been a little bit down in the dumps this week, and what happened yesterday did not raise my spirits. And Walter was such a godsend for all of that. Not. We'll talk about that in a minute. And I have no idea why that's not going. I guess it's just topping it. And this guy I'm really happy with. This was an In the Hoop project, Dracula. It's big. I think he spans a good 18-20 inches across. He might be more than that. He might be 24 inches across. Where is he?
Where is he?
He's over there on the door. Oh yeah, he's about 24 inches across from thumb to thumb there. But this is one in the hoop that you actually sew in the hoop as well. Instead of having the various pieces made and then going to your domestic sewing machine, you actually sew it in the hoop. And Creative Kiwi, and I think that's where this one came from. Yeah, it is for sure. Creative Kiwi loves to do these kind of things, and once you've done it once, it's really easy to get the pieces lined up the way they're designed so that they will stitch together. And it basically does a zigzag on the part, and then it goes over it with a satin stitch. And they're kind of fun to do, and I liked him. He was another kind of palette cleanser.
I never saw you actually do one, so I'd be interested in how you managed to get like in the hoop so that.
Oh, maybe I'll have to get a different one
Yeah,
Maybe make a video of that.
yeah.
Oh, note for that. Okay, we'll put that down. Let's see. Make video of in the hoop. Applique sewn in hoop. Okay, then we've got that down. That's a good suggestion. We'll try and figure that out at some point in time. Okay, so that's what I've been up to. And where's my button? Here's my button. Jeez. We need to get this off so we can see what we're doing here. Okay, there we are. Let's back up. Where did I leave off? Okay, I'm just trying to catch up with who's here now because everything went by fast when... okay, there. So let's see. Betty here is here. Mona is here. I don't know if I said hello to Mona or not, but hello, Mona. Hello, Betty. It would be fun, Stephanie says, to see you in Walter's standard uniform, though. That would be a laugh. Do you mean as t-shirts? I don't wear t-shirts. No, no, no. If it doesn't have a collar, it doesn't go on this body. Never has. I've never worn t-shirts. Even as a kid, I hated t-shirts.
Actually, I didn't start wearing t-shirts much until
you got lazy.
Until I got retired, and I find just so comfortable.
Yeah, now you look like an old bum.
Yeah, I do. So what?
Old bum. Yeah, really. Let's see.
Actually, I gotta make more t-shirts.
Yes, right. Kim loves the quilt. Dana says Cozy Stars, beautiful. It was a fun pattern to do as well. So, and I mean, it's one of Stephanie's, and you know that if you've never done a Stephanie's pattern, where you been? Because they are so well written. They are, and you've heard me say that many times before. And I'm not just blowing smoke up her bum. Okay, it's true. They really are. And you know how I have a way of getting myself involved in patterns that suck. Well, I've never had that problem with Stephanie, so they're great.
And because I've been wearing more t-shirts, I tend not to wear these shirts as often. I have made more shirts for Stephen than I have for myself. So
yes, that's true. But then I deserve them.
But yeah. Steve wears those shirts all the time.
I do. So. I wear them all the time. And if you're like Russ, who pointed out to felt he needed to point it out to me, and it's a joke. It's a joke. I'm not cutting up Russ or anything. He sent me an email to say, "Oh, the shirt of shame. Weren't you wearing that?" This was last week, yesterday, before I did. That was last Sunday, not this shirt. But in my video the next day that I made, my vlog, I was wearing the same shirt. Okay, now some people think, you know, well, maybe, you know, you make videos ahead. I don't actually. I don't. The day that you see it is the day that I made it in most cases. On Monday mornings, that's the first thing I do is I make my vlog. Tuesday mornings, first thing I do is make the Idiot Quilter one. So, yeah, I do believe in wearing a shirt unless it's smelly, stinky, or it can walk on its own to your clothes hamper. Why? I don't wear them just one day. I don't stink. I'm not that kind of person that's out there sweating to the oldies in the middle of the street, you know, jogging up and down. Oh God, no, that wouldn't happen. So yeah, sometimes you will notice that, you know. Besides, the more shirts I wear in a week, the more of a laundry I have to do, and I do my laundry once a week. So yeah, but anyways, yeah, he noticed that. The shirt of shame, as he called it. Oh, I don't know where Russ comes up with these things. Let's see. It's beautiful. Colleen's here. Hi, Colleen. Beautiful blocks. Patsy says, beautiful quilt. Love the blue. Tamala, Susan. I have done 0 sewing. COVID and a very painful back has about done me in. Well, that's too bad, Susan. Hope you're feeling better soon. Everybody's sending their best wishes to Sue. So positive thoughts coming your way. Jeannie's here. Hi, Jeannie. And Walter is always a gem. Kay's one of your members of your fan club. You have to remember that, right? She has to say that. Yeah. Dracula's so cute, Stephanie says. Yeah, he is. You could do it, Stephanie. Yeah, I think it's still on sale. Creative Kiwi. Pamela says, dumps here too. It will pass. Yeah. Love Dracula. Everybody's loving Dracula. Karen Burdett is here. Pamela says, I haven't sewn anything for several months either. Well, I haven't gone that long. I've just been, I just haven't had the mood, the inspiration, but I think it's coming back. Melissa's here. Hi, Melissa. Stephen. Colin. Consider doing the Nutcracker from Create Kiwi's very favorite. We've done 2 of them.
Actually, no, I didn't do it from Creative Kiwi.
I thought
it was
that's
no
what...
ESD.
Oh.
It's a 3D applique one.
Okay, so we have done Nutcrackers, but they are, you will see those again. If you want to see them, go back a year ago to one of my Idiot Quilter ones in December where I did a tour of the house decorations, and I think the Nutcrackers are in that one as well. But yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about though in Creative Kiwi. I think I've said it. It's not a 3-dimensional, is it? It's a flat, but there's many pieces.
Yeah, the one I did was a 3-dimensional that stands up, so it has quite a few pieces that you have to put together.
But... yeah, a lot. It takes a while. Heidi's here. Hi, Heidi. Good afternoon, gentle beings. That is from several Star Trek novels. Okay. Has anybody told you you're a nerd? Yeah, Heidi already knows she's a nerd. Pam says, if our spirit is willing, maybe I should try a Dracula. You should. They're fun. Joanne is here. Hi, Joanne, and Judy's here. Derek says, I'm sorting lesson plans and lectures for first day back teaching tomorrow. Locked away the sewing machine to avoid distractions. Well, you have my pity, Derek. Don't have to do that anymore, and I'm glad of it. Heidi says, my activities determine how many times I wear something before washing. Judo or gardening gear gets washed immediately, and so do I. Well, I can see that, Heidi. But I mean, yeah, you know, like, yeah, if I'm doing something, like this shirt will not be on my body tomorrow. We went out for a walk today, a fairly lengthy walk.
Yeah, well, I changed my shirt today too, so I changed my t-shirt.
Yeah, your t-shirt, yeah. So, yeah, but this is going in the wash. Yeah, Jackie says Creative Kiwi is one of her favorite embroidery designers. Yeah, they've got a lot of really cool things. And you know what? One thing I do like about Creative Kiwi too is they do videos on YouTube on a regular basis for a lot of these more complicated designs and that. And she's very thorough and they're very clear. The videos are very well done. I think she does a little overkill with her pinning and taping. She does a lot of that, but they are very clear. I mean, you can't go wrong if you follow her instructions, or at least, you know, sometimes I like to just watch one of her videos all the way through before, if it's a brand new one and I'm not really sure from the instructions exactly how it's going to go together, although their instructions, and they have instructions with all of them as well, are very clearly written with lots of pictures as well. So yeah, and they're not expensive from Creative Kiwi. Even when they're not on sale, they're pretty good price. Melissa says, I've seen the OESD ones. Yours are lovely. This KK one is 7 hoopings joined in hoop. It is different. Oh, so you do, so it's joined in the hoop just like Dracula. Oh, I may have to look that one up. You're wicked, Melissa. Get thee behind me, Melissa. You devil. Okay, so that's what we've been up to. And yeah, so next week we have, or this week coming, we have Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen as per usual. You know the drill, things in the show notes. So all are welcome. Fall retreat in 2 weeks' time, 2 weeks from yesterday, I open up the registration for the Fall Idiot Quilter Retreat. So the registration will open on Saturday, October the 5th at 9 a.m. my time, Eastern time. And do not try to send me an email before that time because I will ignore it. I know I'm a nasty bastard. And I enjoy it. Yes, really. So I get so few thrills in this life. That's one of them. But yeah, I'm trying to keep it, you know, as fair as possible. You will get a confirmation within probably an hour or less. Depends on how inundated I am at one point in time, confirming that you have a spot. And I hope you have watched the video because there's that very important section on blacklist. Do not ignore it. I really don't like to put people on the blacklist, but I will. if I have to. And I do have a few names on the blacklist. So if those people try to register, they won't be allowed in because they burned me. And if you burn me, well, blacklist. What can I say? Okay, so this week on So Chatty, we talked all about thread. Now, we had talked about thread probably a year ago.
Maybe. I think it was longer than
Maybe
that.
it was longer ago. So we revisited it. We know a little bit more about it now, but thread is confusing. It really is. And I think if you saw the video, you know why it's confusing, because
we probably were a little confused.
We were probably a little confused too with it. That's why I did the articles thing to keep us straight.
I think what people is best as people is get used to. Well, when you're a quilter, you probably only used
like about
a select amount of threads. Yeah. But I mean, there are other threads available, but they're sort of on an as needed basis type of thing, depending on what project you're doing.
Yeah.
When I do clothing, most of all, when I do shirts, I just use like a 50 weight or 40 weight thread. But I mean, I've done some projects that I needed a thick top stitching thread or something like that.
Now, of course, if you're into bag making and you want to do some decorative stitching on it, that's where you could play with the various weights of thread.
Yeah, like I've used embroidery thread for doing decorative stitching on bags and stuff like that.
Yeah, so yeah, but I guess the bottom line of it all is whatever works you use. If you're having trouble with a thread, check your needle size. Maybe you have too small or too big a needle for the weight of the thread that you're using. And as we said in the video too, when we put it together, machines are temperamental. Not all machines like all threads. Like I said, my machine does not like sulky for some reason. Although, having said that, I need to go and try it again because I have a feeling when I was having problems with the sulky, and this is quite a long time ago when I first got into quilting and that, and I never went back to it, I probably had the wrong needle. I'll bet you I had the wrong
needle. I have used sulky for sewing an entire shirt, and on mine 6700P.
Yeah,
and it hasn't never caused me any problems.
I'm talking about on when I had my 15,000.
Yeah.
That monster, and I had a lot of problems with the sulky. But then again, it may have been I didn't have the right needle size in it. I know a little bit more about that now than I did then. So I'll have to give it another try because I've got some sulky. I also have some King Tut. I have some very nice King Tut variegated that might be nice. I'm not sure what I'd use it for. But
I have some King Tut variegated because I have used it occasionally for a busy shirt. Variegated, and it's kind of nice because it doesn't always show up as I like using thread that doesn't really show to that blends in with the fabric. So
what I really like to use variegated threads for though are for Lucy when I'm quilting, because if you're having trouble figuring out which thread, you don't know if you should go lighter, you should go darker or whatever, I find sometimes the variegated threads, they blend in, but they'll show up as a pop of color in certain spots, depending on the design of your quilt. And the ones that I use, we didn't really talk about that brand, but Fantastico, which is a superior thread, and I get that at my local APQS dealer shop, Whirls and Swirls with Tracy. And she has quite a few in there to choose from. And they're very pretty. They're very nice. And I do like variegated, as I said. So,
Yeah, like when I sew these shirts, I usually use either a 40 weight thread or a 50 weight thread. It depends. For me, it's color because I audition the color on my shirts to see which ones I like to do it better, because there are stitching on my shirt, like the button band, that show up and on the front, so I kind of picky as to what I use for shirt color. But I almost always sew with an 8012 jeans needle. And so far, I haven't had too many problems. But if I have a problem, I might switch to a 9014 needle.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't try different needles if you're in doubt. You might make a difference. Inez says, I think the needle was her problem with Gutermann. And Tamala says, love King Tut on my long arm. Now, I've never thought of King Tut. Well, you see, I use Glide. And why do I use Glide? That's what I got started with. That's what my local APQS dealer had.
You've also used Superior, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that the Superior makes the variegated that I use with that. And I do have the King Tut I have now. You could tell me this probably, Tamala. Does it come in a larger spool? Because the King Tuts I have are a small spool. They're, they look like the size of a old wooden spool kind of thing, maybe a little bit bigger. I'm not sure how many meters are on them.
I'd have to look, yeah.
But I would think you'd go through and King Tut's not cheap.
King Tut's wound differently than the Glide spools or the Orfil spools. Stephanie
uses King Tut as well. So tell me, does King Tut come on bigger spools? I've never investigated it, so it must, because you'd be changing thread, I think, a lot.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yes. Oh, yes, comes on cones. Oh, I'll have to take a look at that then, because
King Tut here seems to be hard to find something.
Yeah, it's not easy to find King Tut around this area, but I mean, you can get it online, so you could take a look. Jacqueline said, Tamela loves King Tut too. And Jacqueline says, new to quilting, taking classes with Doreen at Ultimate Sewing Center and learning so much. Yes, I mentioned that, I think, yesterday, ran into Jacqueline. We had a brief conversation because people were busy in there and I was busy buying stuff that I didn't plan to buy, but, that's what happens. And, Doreen is good at giving classes and stuff. I used to take a lot of classes at Ultimate Sewing when I first got into it, but I haven't taken a class in a long time. And you've probably heard me this before. Nothing against the ladies teaching there. I think they're all very good in the whole bit. Most of the stuff that they're teaching, okay, this sounds arrogant. I know how to do. I'm not really learning anything new. And second reason is I don't want to lug my stuff.
Yeah, actually, that's sort of my thing too. Even when I go to sew at the club, the annoying part is lugging my stuff.
Yeah. The other thing too is the classroom is too small. I feel very, very cramped in there.
Yeah, and I also don't like the fact that she has fabric for sale in that classroom. And when the store is open, you often get people coming into the room and
they're pushing in behind your chair.
And then they go and turn around and look at what you're doing and start making comments.
What's that? Oh, that's nice. I'm here to learn. I'm not here to.
And they seem to do that more with men.
Yeah, because I think
they sort of look at you and they sort of go, "Oh, a man's in here sewing."
But I mean, it's not really Shirley's fault that this happens in there because her store is very small and she's got it packed to the rafters. So every available space has fabric stuck in it. And I know she'd love to have a larger store, but the opportunity's just not there. I mean, the overhead to rent a new place, all of that, not to mention to move all that stuff. She's often said she was hoping that the subway, gracious, the next time I bring it up, we'll vote on it. She would like to knock out a wall if the subway went out of business, the submarine place next door, and extend into that. But that's not going to happen. That submarine place has been there for a long time, and it doesn't look like it's going to be leaving anytime soon. So, and I think Shirley, too, if she could find somebody that would buy the store, would kind of like to retire. I don't know what we'll do if Shirley finally says one day she's going to retire and no one takes over the store. Because, no, it can't happen. She even asked us once if we wanted to buy the store. We said, no. I'm retired. Yeah, we don't want to do that.
I worked for a living.
Yeah. And Ron's here. Hi, Ron. Looking forward to dining at Shea Walter. Yeah, we've got to get our times all straightened out, Ron. I'll send you an email. I guess we're only about 2 weeks away, aren't we? Ron is coming out from the East Coast out to our end of the world. So he and his wife, Joan, And we have met Ron and Joan before when we were down in the East Coast there, almost, a year ago? A year ago this past spring when we went for the Canadian Quilt Show and everything. So, yeah. So we're looking forward to it as well. We've just stocked up on discounted cans of cat food. So hors d'oeuvres are looked after. And they're delicious with spray cheese on them, I'll have you know, because spray cheese makes all the difference. And then for main course, well, I'm sure we've seen some possum the other day was slightly squished on the road, so that's pretty fresh. So we popped it into the freezer. Yeah, we can pop it on the Barbie, or possum on the Barbie, nothing like that. And or maybe do, because it is getting close to Thanksgiving, stuffed possum. That would be delicious, or raccoon. We can get those fresh. They're in our backyard most nights. So yeah, hope you enjoy roadkill. It's our specialty. Tamel says, yes, alders come in cones. Oh, okay. And Robert says, Walter, you ever embroider any shirts you make?
To date, no, I have not done that. Most of the shirts I've made are patterned fabric like we have here. And so I have not yet done any embroidery on a shirt. If I haven't really thought about it too much about doing embroidery on a shirt. I may do that one time, but I haven't done it yet.
Yeah. And then says roadkill, oh my goodness. Oh, come on, Inez. I know that you're sitting out there on that big rock. You've probably enjoyed some puffin stew.
But if I did embroidery on a shirt, it'd probably be on the pocket. Or if I did it on the back of the shirt or something like that, I would probably cut out the fabric first and then embroider on it and then put the pieces together.
That might be really interesting on the back of a shirt. Like if you made the shirt out of a denim or
if I did a plain colored shirt or something like that. I should do that sometime.
Yeah, that might be fun. That's actually all the rage on jackets and things. Yeah. I've seen people on YouTube. Well, actually, they've been doing a lot of long arming on actually back of denim jackets and things like that.
Yeah, like one of the guys that was that went to the club to sew. He just finished a jean jacket, and he had embroidery on the back. He did embroidery on the back, and it came out looking really nice. Yeah. So yeah.
Robert says, I call them cowboy shirts. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, Jacqueline. We only serve the best roadkill. Okay, ours is fresh. Well, give it a day or two. It depends. If we're having a lot of people over for dinner, we'll wait till it puffs up. Kind of a thing. But that's more in the summer. Yeah, roadkill. It's good for everybody. Rob says he's seen cowboy shirts with roses, and I was in love.
Yeah. I don't think I would do that. I don't wear cowboy shirts,
no, I don't either.
But I used to a long time ago when I was younger. Had a couple of shirts that I
used to call them rape
purchased that had fairly elaborate embroidery on the back of them, but I haven't. You'd think I would want to do that, but I'd have to get a pattern that I really want to walk around with on.
Yeah. Well, you remember way back, probably in the early 90s, I had a white shirt. It was a denim shirt, but it was one with the licensed Walt Disney characters on it. I loved that shirt. That shirt cost me a lot of money. I mean, I didn't make it because I wasn't into this.
I had one that was had all the licensed ones all the way around across the back, and it was a green denim shirt, and it had a whole row of embroidered characters across the back. And if I have to figure out to do that. I have to figure out what I would want on it as embroidery.
Yeah. Well, if you were to do Disney characters on it, though, Disney characters aren't so easy to get because they are licensed.
Yeah.
And so where they're sold now, I don't know. I think OESD might have some, but it doesn't have to be
a Disney one.
Disney.
If it has to be a pattern that I would want.
Yeah. Oh, M's here. Hi, M.
Puffin stew.
Barb says, puffin stew, a Canadian tradition for Thanksgiving. Yep. They're plump, they're juicy, they have a beak. Stephanie won't like that. She likes puffins. Okay? She won't want me eating a puffin. I don't think people eat puffins. I don't know.
I think they do.
Or is that where the expression comes from? Puffin fresh. I don't know. Do they eat puffins?
Yeah, we went on a whole roll of this at one point in time that the people do eat them.
Inez says to Barb she's never eaten a puffin, so okay. Well, whatever. Speaking of eating, though, we did have last week, as you know, we went off to my sister's for a family dinner for my niece's 30th birthday, and that was nice. My sister had what did we have?
Lamb.
Oh yeah, we had lamb. That so that was what my niece wanted. She wanted lamb, and she wanted it with that horrible mint jelly. I did have some of it though. I don't mind the mint jelly that much. You know, the green.
Actually,
stuff.
I'm not that fond of lamb, but it was actually a pretty good cut in that it didn't taste too lammy.
Yeah, so it was actually good, and we were out on our new deck for a while, but we were being attacked by bees. And my sister has one of those electric swatters, you know, like that, and she was trying to
I think they were
them.
wasps.
Yeah, they were wasps. They weren't bees. They were wasps with it. But anyways, yeah, it was a nice dinner.
Their deck was nice.
Yeah, their deck is really nice. And
makes me want to get a renewal on our deck.
Why? We have a bigger deck than they do.
Yeah, I know. It cost us a fortune.
It did at the time. Yeah, it would. Well, it doesn't need fixing.
No, but I thought their wood looked nice and everything.
Well, yeah, because it's new.
Yeah.
New wood. We have old wood. Never mind. Let's see. Just catching up here. Stephanie says puffins are friends, not food. And Heidi says the tradition is to leave the dinner table before you start puffing. Yeah. Oh, there's a lot we could do with that. So that's what we had. Nice family dinner. We did go to Ultimate Sewing, as I said earlier. Yesterday, I needed some retail therapy. You'll find out why. I was only going to buy some thread. I was going to buy some stock, get a few of the spools of the Floriani that I use in my embroidery machine. I like to keep, as they get low, I keep a record of that, and then I want to stock up. So actually, this time I actually got every color I wanted. They had that there because they don't carry all the colors because there's like hundreds, if not thousands. But while I was there, I got looking at fall fabric because I got this idea in my head. Well, first of all, I saw some Christmas fabric that's a little unusual. I'm going to show it on Idiot Quilter this week, so you'll see it. It's not really what you think of as Christmas colors. It's kind of beigey, browny kind of thing, but I kind of liked it, and I'm sort of playing with the idea of actually making some Christmas napkins, embroider them, maybe do a little faux cut work on the edge of them, and that maybe give those to my sister or something like that for Christmas. I don't know. And while I was in there, and this is Stephanie's fault that I did this, they had tea towels. Now they're by Kimberbell, okay? So you can get tea towels a little cheaper than what the Kimberbell fabric is, but I think they were $6.95 a piece. But they're nice quality fabric that are in them, and they're already hemmed and everything. And I was thinking maybe I'll do some embroidery on those, and maybe have those as a gift too, or just for us alone. Back last year, I bought a couple of meters of tea towel fabric, and I made us some new tea towels, just simple ones. I just hemmed them up, and I didn't embroider them. But we'll see. But Stephanie was working on a couple of towels with stuff, and on her embroidery machine, and she told us all on Wednesday where to get on Amazon the sackcloth or whatever it was called, which is a lot cheaper than these kind of tea towels, but looks pretty good too. But at least it's cheaper if you're American. If you're Canadian, it was more expensive. Of course, everything is. So I thought I would do that. So, I went in there to get a few spools of thread. I came out with $300 worth of fabric. Not bad deal, though. I got 14 meters. I got 7 different fabrics. Oh, I bought some fall fabric as well. So, I don't know. I was thinking of napkins, too. I don't know. I'm in a napkin mood for some reason. So anyways, that was yesterday at Ultimate Sewing. So tomorrow I have something fun that's giving me anxiety. I gotta go to the dentist for a cleaning. I go every 4 months, and it's pissing me off. I get really uptight. I do not like dentists at all because they never have good news. They're always doing more than that. They want that insurance money. And the place that I go to are definitely money grabbers, but I don't think it matters what dentist you go to for that matter. And they're very slick in there. I've been going to the same place, the same location since I was 11 years old. I've gone through, I think I'm on my third dentist in there. But this little, how do I put it?
Yeah, she sucked me into getting those, those night guards or whatever.
Yeah.
That I couldn't get used to.
Yeah. Yeah, they always have some ploy in there. Like, I used to get my teeth cleaned every 9 months. That was what in those days, I was still working, and that's what my insurance covered. Was you could go I think it was, actually, I used to go just once a year, and then they reduced it to you could have it every 9 months, and the insurance would cover it. And when I say the insurance covers it, it doesn't cover the whole thing. We have a third-party insurance plan now, and it covers 85% of most things.
In Canada, your health care is covered, but health care does not include dental care. Mm-hmm. So dental care is usually covered by private plans.
So they have it all worked out because the little dental hygienist or the torture mistress, she says, oh, to me back about 2 years ago or something. She said, you should come in more often for teeth cleaning. And I said, why? Is there a problem? Well, no, but it's better.
You're getting older.
You're getting older. I just love that when people say that. That's a real nice line. And, and your insurance covers that. Your insurance, there's enough there to cover coming every 4 months. Got that all worked out, don't you, honey? They got a computer sitting right there on their counter in their room where they do the stuff, the work and that, and she just goes and figures this all out.
Yeah, and then because we have insurance, the dental prices are not cheap.
No.
So like you can go in for a cleaning and it's like $300 or $400.
Yeah.
And then our insurance covers everything but about $100.
Covers about 85%.
Yeah.
Of it. For the cleaning and stuff like that. And I'm anticipating that tomorrow she'll look at China. Ooh, we haven't had x-rays in a while. I think
and then it costs even more.
Then that's a couple of $100. And then the dentist will truck in after she's gone in there and scraped the shit out of my mouth in there and do her little 2-second examination. And depending on whether or not she's saving up for a really expensive car or whatever, or needs a mortgage payment, she may recommend something. The last time I said I had some sensitivity. She said, well, she could put a filling in some spot, for a gap. It wasn't a cavity or whatever. She took forever, and there were 2. Suddenly I get in there, I thought you said there was only 1. Oh, no, I said 2. Yeah, did you? So I'm going to say to the little tyrant, the dental hygienist, I'm going to say to her, okay, we need to talk. When she starts to book my next appointment, I'm going to say, I don't want to book every 4 months. I'm going to every 6 to start with. Well, you should. And I said, no, well, actually, the Canadian Dental Association recommends every 6 months. And on top of it all, I have not noticed that you have taken less time with me coming in more frequently.
Yeah, they were getting me to come in more frequently. And then I turned around and I said, no. I ended up going to 9 months, but every last time I waited 9 months, and then but they did my cleaning. My cleaning wasn't any worse than the previous 9 months.
And yet I floss twice a day. I use my water pick 3 times a day, like after every meal. Okay, if I have more than 3 meals in a day, I will use it 4 times. I'm very conscientious about all this stuff, and it never seems to be satisfactory. So I'm going to just lay the line on there, and I'm going to say, yeah, well, I'm getting a little tired in it, because she's going to say, well, your insurance covers. No, my insurance doesn't, sweetie.
Well, it does, but then you still have to pay the deductible. So
and we pay up front. Then we get it back from the insurance.
Yeah.
Is how that
Well, I
works.
usually get it a day later.
It's pretty efficient the way it. Oh, they're very slick in there. They're very efficient. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, they put it in for you for the insurance and everything. So,
but it gives me anxiety, and the reason it gives me anxiety is because the first time I ever went to a dentist as a little kid, my parents took me to one, and the guy, I remember it was a torture chamber. It looked like something out of one of those old horror movies, the thing on the back.
Yeah, I had the same thing.
And all that. And he drilled me, and no painkiller, no freezing, anything. Now, I know some people say they hate freezing. They'd rather not have it. I'm not one of those. I'm a big chicken. I don't like pain of any sort. And so I always tell dentists, if they're going to work on me, freeze me hard. If you can hit me in the side of the face with a sledgehammer and I don't blink, then you know the freezing's taken. And that's the way I want it with it. So don't.
Yeah, I had a dentist. My mom took me to this old quack many years ago, and I was a little kid, and he actually pulled a tooth without freezing. And I fainted in the chair.
Yeah.
And then it basically traumatized me. I wouldn't go back to the dentist. I screamed and kicked. I didn't want to go back.
No.
I ended up not complaining to my parents that I had a problem with my teeth. And I actually ended up, by the time I went back to the dentist, I ended up having a couple of rotten teeth in there.
Well, you see, my thing though too is, and this is where it gives me a lot of stress as well. It's not just going to the dentist, but it's like, I don't want to go, but I forced myself to go because my parents both had rotten teeth. Horrible. And I do not want that at all. So that's why I'm very conscientious about my teeth. But at the same time, they get in there with those bloody hooks. And she's like mining for gold. And I got news for her. The cave is empty. She's not getting anything. There's nothing that already spent it. So get out of my mouth, woman. Let's see. Inez says, we're talking about puff and poo and reindeer poo. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I think it was Derek that said, if you go back a little further. Yeah, it says Derek said that a store in Shetland Islands at extreme north of Scotland who make a chocolate candy known as puff and poo.
Oh.
Yeah, we have
tastes better.
Some places sell here moose droppings.
Oh, yeah, moose droppings, yeah. Well, Inez says you can get that here as well, the puff and poo. I've never seen it, but deer droppings.
Yeah, but Inez is on...
yeah, I know, on the rock, Newfoundland.
And then in Ottawa, you can get beaver tails.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. A beaver tail. Are they shaved? Inez says, I take my granddaughter every 4 months. She has a problem with flossing, so she told us to get Soft Picks Green at Costco. She had a consultation, $525 less than 10 minutes. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that can be that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. In the next life, I want to be a dentist because really, I don't know how they can justify the money that they charge. They make more money than a doctor. Julie's here. Hi, Julie. Barb says, my grandfather, who died at the age of 99, was buried with all of his natural teeth in his later years. I don't think he went to the dentist very often. Not sure what that would look like, but
my mom had all her teeth pulled at 36 and had dentures. I never knew her without dentures.
Yeah. Julie says, hi, Stephanie. Excited for Saturday. Yes, I believe Julie and Stephanie, I think, are doing a sew-along together. M's here. Do you get to take some laughing gas or something like that? No, I wish they would.
No, actually, I was so traumatized when I was a little kid. By the time my parents talked to friends of theirs, and they had a daughter that had the same problem, and she went to a doctor where they gave them laughing gas to get through the appointment. And I ended up going to that same doctor, and they gave me laughing gas actually for about a year or two. Every time I went to the doctor, especially when I had work done, they gave me laughing gas. And
did you giggle at that?
Actually, it is good, because what it makes you do is it makes you so relaxed. It doesn't actually, you don't laugh. It just makes you really, really relaxed. and you don't care what they do. So, and then when they turn it off again, you wake right completely up as if you haven't had it. So, it is actually really good if you are petrified about going to the dentist.
Yeah, well,
but after a while, I said, okay, let's do it without the gas, and I was okay.
Patsy said the gas made her sick. And Ron says, my first dentist was a smoker. It was having having a cigarette butt in my mouth. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Patsy says, so glad my hygienist only makes me come twice a year. Yeah, you see, this is the problem I have. I'm having the same problem with my doctor, too. That's next month. We have been taught to respect and listen to dentists and doctors because they have all the training. They went to school for this. They're supposed to be the professionals and the experts on all this. So we trust them. And I think that they sometimes take advantage of our trust in that and tell us we need this and that when we don't need it. But the problem is we don't know. We don't know. So
yeah, for some unknown reason, they upped your statin to a higher level, and
I'm not taking it.
And I didn't think that his like, I look at the results of the test.
It was below,
and I thought, I don't know why she's doing this,
because she's a pill pop. That's our doctor we're talking about now, not
yeah. So anyway, like, she upped it, and I told him, you still got your 10s hanging around. She upped it to 20 from 10, and he didn't like taking 20, so, or he felt like it was causing him some problems. And so I said to him, just go back to the 10 and tell her no, you're not to do that.
So I'm going to get my blood test done in a couple of weeks' time, and I can check the results online with that, and I'm going to compare it to the results from the last one, and I'm going to see what has changed, if that number has moved one way or the other. And if it hasn't, I'm going to tell her, no, not taking the 20 for it. No, she's a real pill pusher with it. So, yeah. So, I don't know. But, these dentists, too, they have lots of things and lots of suggestions. And, I guess we have to take control of it. But I have that in the back of my mind. They know more than I do because they're trained in this.
Well, I've asked her before. She's tried up mine. And I said,
up yours?
I said, well, is it going to be really that much of a difference? I said, my numbers are normal. And she goes,
you're back at the doctor now.
Yeah, the doctor.
Okay.
And I said, and then she explains it to me. And then I go, okay, no.
Okay, no. No, computer says no. So, yeah, I don't know. But it gives me stress. So, and I've had a lot of stress lately. We're coming to that. So next Saturday, there is a shop hop. And if you remember, and you probably don't, we did the same shop hop last year at this time. And it's 4 stores that are all a bit of ways from each other. And so we did that. 2 of the stores we had never been to before. In fact, both of them were not easy to find. One looked like
like one was on a farm, and they had built this outbuilding that housed the shop, and we were like in the dark trying to get to this place. We got there, and actually the store is quite large,
nice.
And they have a huge classroom in there. But I don't know. I didn't really find their selection that great.
No, well, they had a lot of, how do I put it gently, old lady fabrics.
And their prices weren't that great.
No, their prices were not that great. They were on the upper end of the scale. So, and then another place that we went to that we almost missed because it was on the side of the road, but it would look like a scrapyard. It's called the Fabric Shack, wasn't it?
Something like that.
And it looked like a shack.
And it was sort of rabbit warren inside.
Yeah. But she had a great selection of wide backs at really good prices.
Yeah.
In there. So anyways, I did buy some. We've been back there since as well. The lady who runs it, she's very nice, and she's just very kind of country-ish.
Actually, when is that shop hop?
Next weekend.
Well, maybe we should take a run up to that place, that one that's the shack, just for, we don't have to do the whole shop hop. You can just
we
go
could
there.
do that one.
And she had some deals on the
Yeah.
stuff there too. So
Yeah, well, we could do that. Yeah, because the other alternative we have for next weekend is the home show in Toronto.
yeah, which is probably not worth going to. But
Probably not, but I don't know. You always like the home show.
yeah, I always used to like going, but a lot of times they end up having focus on one thing or another that isn't worth going to see.
So, but anyway, so we have some choices for next weekend. If I get out of my slump. Barb says, if you have questions about medication, the pharmacist is a good source of information.
Yeah, well, our pharmacist,
he's got the personality of an artichoke that's been hit by a car, stuffed into a dead possum. Yeah, don't like him.
I mean, we have talked to them before. Actually,
yeah,
he actually did help you out with the medication for for COVID that time.
Yes, he did.
Right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, if I had a question about it, but I mean, it's a statin.
Mind you, he did try to kill me too once by giving me the wrong.
He gave you the wrong medication.
If I hadn't looked at it carefully,
yeah. And then you said you brought it back to their attention, and he sort of said, "So what?"
Oh well. Okay. Yeah. But whatever. With that. So what's this? Inez says, I remember your shop hop in the woods. Yeah, that's basically, it was in the sticks. 2 of them were in the sticks. One's in a town north of us called Lindsay. And we've been there several times before.
They sometimes have nice fabric and sometimes stuff that you can't get at other stores, but their prices are
they're pricey.
Pretty pricey.
Actually, all of these shops are pricey because Quilter Quilting is one that's in the list too, and you've heard me talk about it. And Quilter Quilting is on the upper end too for their fabric prices.
They do have some nice stuff that you can't get other places, but the prices on that stuff is pretty pricey.
Yeah, but fabric is, like we're spoiled. Ultimate Sewing still has the best prices anywhere.
But then her selection isn't always the best.
No, so that's true. Well, she's got a fairly
she does
good
have
selection.
stuff, but when
we're just getting to the point.
I get picky because I like looking for stuff that I can make shirts out of.
Yeah,
and but she does have decent selection, and she does carry newer stuff a lot of times.
Yeah,
and actually, I saw some material yesterday that I sort of debated getting, and I ended up not getting. But her prices are really good.
They're really good. Like, I mean, was it $16 a meter for most things?
And then on top of that, we get 10% off.
Yeah, because we bought sewing machines
there. So it actually ends up becoming a much better price.
Yep. And the staff there are all really nice too, and everything like that. Like, it's a nice environment in there. A little crowded, but as I said, but it's still a nice store. So if you're in the area, go to Ultimate Sewing. Tell them I sent you. Won't get you a discount, but tell him I sent you.
No, Heidi, the guy in the store is a pharmacist, not an alchemist.
An alchemist. She knows that. She's making a joke. Walter's sense of humor. Sometimes,
blah.
Sometimes
I take everything seriously.
They're like airplane jokes. They go right over his head. Kind of a deal. So we bought, we got, and we have them. We got our new iPhones, our new iWatches, and everything. And they take a little time to get set up and everything like that. The iWatch is actually a little bigger than the one we had before, but actually
I kind of like that.
Yeah, because I can see it better. Old eyes, kind of a deal. But and they do all kinds of fancy things that our other ones didn't, because these are Series 10, so we had Series 6 iWatches before, and so it's a bit of a big jump. Although
it doesn't do that much.
No, it doesn't do that much more. I mean,
but it is nice that it's a bit bigger.
Yeah. So, anyways, now my old iWatch I'm giving to my sister. When we were there for dinner last Sunday, I said to her, "Okay, I'm getting a new iWatch and new iPhone, and I know she has a Fitbit, and she's had the Fitbit since 2014." And I said to her, "Lori, it's time to come into this decade. What your Fitbit does, the Apple iWatch does, and more. with it, and she has an iPhone. In fact, I asked her today because depending on which version you have, the iWatches, I guess the iWatches won't work with iPhones below a 6, right?
Yeah.
A 6. Oh my God. So I asked her, she's got an 11. Oh my God. That's so 5 generations ago. But yes, I am a snob about it. But anyway, so you have to set them up, right? And everything like that. And it's supposed to be easy peasy. You know, they walk you through the whole thing, even on the phone and everything like that. But we are trading ours back in.
No, not the watches. We're trading
No, the phones, the iPhones. Our old iPhones are 14s. And according to their website, they will give us almost $600 back if we trade in the 14s. Well, the watch is only $75, so yeah, that's why I'm giving mine to my sister. But $600, that's a big piece of chunk of change, you know, with that. So yeah, we're sending them back, and they make it really easy. They send you a mailer box. It doesn't cost you anything to send it back, and when they get it, they'll give you the money through your credit card.
Yeah, provided that it's in this.
Provided that you didn't lie when you did the online assessment, and it's really comes in 2 pieces.
Yeah.
You know, kind of a thing. And ours are in good shape, like very good shape. So no problem there. So easy peasy, right? So now they did give you instructions on what you needed to do to, you know, prepare your phone for sending it back, because they don't want any of your personal data on it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to reset the phone, wipe out everything on it, and it's not that hard to do. In fact, it's very easy. It's also they wanted you to also take it off of, there's an app called Find My iOS Device. So, you know, you can, if you've left or somebody runs off actually with your phone or something.
They told you to turn it off.
I did turn it off.
No, you didn't.
What they said was very confusing.
No, it wasn't.
It was, because they used the words "and" in it. So you had to do this, and you had to do this, and you had to do that. It turned out that, well, okay, long story short, I hit the wrong button, and I wiped out my computer. I erased my computer. Now you're going to say, how can that be? That is one of the safeguards. If someone was to have stolen your laptop, if you have a Mac, you can go in on your phone and you can erase all the data off that laptop remotely, so they won't have access to any of your files or anything like that. Now, right underneath it either said delete or erase. There were 2.
There were 2, yeah.
And when it said, in my mind, delete is what I was doing. No warning came up when I pushed the little button saying, okay, you're about to wipe out your computer. Do you really want to do that? Nothing came up. I just hit the button, and then I looked over at my computer, and suddenly I got a black screen. And it's talking about reactivating your computer. And I went, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, no. Oh, there was a lot of screaming and hollering and yelling. And then I was trying to recover it from it all, and thought, shit. Now, yeah, before anybody says anything, because I've heard it all, because
it said turn it off. There's another place where you just go turn off, turn off. And I did turn off, and that's all you do. You don't go in and wipe out everything.
Actually, it doesn't say turn off. It says delete.
It says turn off on the message. I can show you a copy of the message. It says turn off.
Whatever. So here I was.
It does not say delete. It does not say erase.
Okay, are we going through this again?
Yes.
He feels so superior right
now.
No,
but you would think that if you saw delete or erase,
you'd think
that you'd think twice about hitting that.
Well, button. I didn't, because I'm an idiot. Whatever. So obviously things are working now because we're here. But
yeah, because we do this live on his MacBook.
So yeah, but it was major. Okay. So there is a recovery thing on it. Now, you see, they have this thing called, and those of you with Macs know, iCloud, right? And I have never really figured out exactly what iCloud is doing. Are all my files going on to iCloud and I'm just when I need them, I'm actually in iCloud getting them? Or are they on my local hard drive too, or whatever? Well, there's no easy answer to that, but I have figured out ways that you can have both, because I feel a little bit more secure if I have them on my hard drive as well as on the cloud as a backup. Now, unbeknown to me, well, anyways, before I jump into that, so I am trying, there's a thing that says restore. So I hit restore. Well, it gives me all these choices. I could get a cable. I could have a startup disk. I could do this, or I could put on a new operating system, which I probably had to do anyways with it. But the new operating system was an old operating system because it was the one before the one we have now. And I'm thinking, oh God, what am I going to do? Now, I'm being very calm at the moment. I was not.
He was pretty upset.
I was very upset.
And I was a little worried.
And then he was, why were you worried? Because you're afraid I was going to kill you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you were just adding more. Like, Walter was not being really supportive. He had to keep telling me over and over and over and over and then over again what I had done wrong and I was an idiot. You know, when you're in the middle of a tragedy, a disaster, whatever, the one thing you don't need is somebody to point out to you that you made a stupid mistake that is costing you. Okay? No, what most people would do would be, oh, well, is there some way you can recover it? Or in the case of when it's with me, leave the building now, because it's coming.
Okay, we're not talking about the watch. The watch didn't get deleted.
No, it wasn't
the Mac that got deleted.
It was my MacBook. What we're using right now, the heart of everything I do in this house, and my data for everything, okay, is on there. So I phoned Apple. Now, I'll have to tell you this. Anytime I've ever had to deal with customer support from Apple, they are excellent. They are excellent. I get them immediately. I did not have, I went through some push this button, but then I expected, okay, now I'm going to be on hold for a day and a half. Nope. Got a person, technical support. She came on. And she goes, can I have your name, please? And I says, yes, my name is Stephen Bland. Hello, Mr. Bland. How are you today? And I says, I'll be much better if you can help me with this because I've done something so bad. And she goes, well, I'm sure I can give you a hand with whatever. So can you tell me what's going on? So I did. And she went, oh, I know exactly what happened. She said, you're not the first. She says, okay, I can help you with that. So she took me to the restore screen, which I'd been in before, but she took control of, she says, are you on your phone right now? And I says, yes, I am. She says, okay, with your permission, I would like to have a screen share on your phone so you can show me what you're doing. I said, okay, fine. That came up. I accepted it. All I had to do is hold the phone with the camera on, point it to my computer, and she could see everything I was doing, and she walked me through it. Okay, so I did have to reinstall the operating system, which was an older one. At the time, though, I wasn't really thinking, this one's older, but I also, I can upgrade it afterwards. So it came up and it started to do its thing, and I said to her, okay, it says it's going to take 3 hours and 50 minutes. I have a feeling you really don't want to be on the line with me that long. So, where do we go from here? She says, okay. She says, that should put everything back on your computer now. I says, what about my data? She says, that should be taken care of as well. She said, but if you have any problems with that, you can call us back. I said, is there a direct number? She says, no, it's the 1-800 number. But of course, they had 1-800 Apple something, whatever. And she gave me the actual number. But she said, her name was Latoya, and she says, I have a case number for you. So for whoever you get, if you do call back, just give them this case number. They will have all the notes. They'll know what this is about and be able to help you. And so, thank you, Latoya. Have a good weekend. So it took hours. did that and everything. And then I had to find my data. Well, my data was there. Now, it wasn't actually in a format that I wanted it to be. It was on the cloud, iCloud, and I wanted it back on my computer. So I screwed around for several hours trying to figure out how this works, because here's the one thing about Mac computers and Apple products. They claim they're idiot proof. Hello, I'm an idiot. It wasn't proof for me. No. And they hide things. And when you go online and you go, okay, I need to do that. How do I do this? They'll use certain, like, for example, they kept saying in a lot of things, go to system preferences. There is no system preferences. It's system settings. But you're not sure. Is that the same thing or is that something different? And there's a lot of things about Apple that things aren't logical. Now, if you started your life out as an Apple user, as a Mac user, you probably are laughing your little head off. I can hear it, ha ha plop. But if you come from a Windows environment, it's very different. And I am still not completely, after 2 years, I am still not complete, 2 years, 3 years. I'm still not completely comfortable with how Mac handles different things. There are many advantages to the Apple operating system, to their ecosystem, if you will, and the way things tie together and talk to each other very seamlessly, it seems, and that. But when you have to do something that goes beyond an idiot, that's when you run into trouble. Because Apple wants you to do things their way. And their way isn't always absolutely logical in my mind.
It's because their system's based on a Unix system, and Unix operates a little differently. Because I used to work on mainframe systems, and I had to deal with Unix as well, and Unix does things a little differently.
So anyways, I have spent since yesterday afternoon and right up until about now rebuilding my system. And I think I have everything working again the way I want. Now, I learned a few things while I was doing it. I've done some minor improvements to the way I was doing things before and whatnot. But the last thing that was giving me hell, we went for a walk. I said to Walter, I had it. I've got the computer, everything. I know that for the live, this is going to work. I've got it all set up and other things. Oh, and that was the other thing. Applications. Some of them were there. Luckily, a lot of the applications are built into Macs. But I did have a couple of third parties. Like I had Microsoft Suite on there. Word and, the spreadsheet program, Excel, and all that kind of stuff, and that PowerPoint and everything. And when I bought this computer, I also bought the standalone version to put onto this computer, all of the Microsoft Suite. Because you see, what Microsoft does these days is they want you to pay a monthly or yearly subscription for Microsoft 360. And yes, Apple has sort of their own thing called Pages that is actually comes on your Mac, but I have never used it. I was a WordPerfect user for many, many years on the old days of Windows, and then eventually WordPerfect kind of died, and I had to go to Word, and it's still not my word processor I really like, but I'm used to it now for what I do, so I had to put that back on. But here's the kicker. Modern technology. You remember the days when we used to get CDs and DVDs and discs? And discs, and that's had the program on it, and you copied them all over and installed them from the disk. Now it's all done online and all that kind of stuff. And so I found the little box. I kept the little box that a little card was in. Box is 4 inches square. It has a little instruction sheet, single leaf kind of a thing for installing Microsoft Suite into it, and a little card with your license code on it. So I had to go to their site. Now, it did say on the card, if you needed to reinstall, go to this site, download it, use this and the whole bit. And it worked. Took a while to download. It's big. It's like something like, I don't know, 300 and some odd gigs on it. But I got it up and operational. That was important because like my accounting is all on there, my notes for various things like the Idiot Quilter Retreat and all that kind of stuff. So I got that all up and operational. Then I had to work on OBS Studio, which we use to do what we're doing right now. That wasn't too hard, but I learned a few things on it as well that I didn't know before. So that's all fine and dandy. Then I had to reestablish Chrome because that's the browser I use. I mean, I could use Safari, but I'm not a big fan of Safari. I like Chrome better. I'm a creature of habit. Also because it ties into my Gmail and it ties into YouTube, my Google account. I mean, I couldn't do that through Safari too, but I'm just used to, I don't have to think about it with that. So I got that all up and operational. So anyways, I think I have everything back working and whatnot. And then this afternoon, I decided when we came back from our long walk, as I was trying to clear my head, we have, of course, Apple TV, right? Like Apple TV boxes on our televisions in this house. And I have a program that I pay for every month called Infuse. And Infuse actually allows, if I've got movies or something that I've downloaded and put on my Mac, it ties into it through the internet, through our website, well, you get the thumb out of your nose. Through our...
No, you did that.
Yeah, I know. So, what do we call that? Our hub? Or, no, our router. Through our Wi-Fi. Yeah. That's the words I'm looking for. My brain is pudding right now. Well, because the computer is all new, that connection didn't work anymore. And do you think I could get it? Just before we came on air, I figured out what I was doing wrong, and it works again. Yay for me. Don't ask me what I did. I'm still not absolutely certain. But, okay. So, I have not been having a good weekend at all.
But actually, everything's back to working.
Everything's back.
That's good. Now, if you had wiped out a PC completely, you probably wouldn't have been able to restore it quite as easily.
Oh, no. I'd still be working on it. And yes, I have wiped out PCs before. Okay. Keep me away from technology. Sometimes, it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Ingrid's here. Hi, Ingrid. You Apple people. Yes. However, okay, now after all of this, I'm going to say this about Apple products. I do not regret buying a Mac. Learning curve was steep when you come from a Windows environment, okay? You have to relearn computer technology with an Apple. But if you're somebody, actually, this is one time when too much information is a dangerous thing. You're better off being ignorant about how computers work and how directory structures work and everything like that. You'd be happier with an Apple if you're one of those kind of people because, yes, you won't have any problems. You won't question it. You will just do it. You'll say, okay, they told me this is what I need to do. But you get people that know something about the Windows environment and have done things with it and everything. It annoys you to no end because you go, but I don't want to do that.
Actually, I haven't really bothered me that much.
Because you're special.
No, I used to program. I used to do programming in a Windows environment, and I used to love PCs, and I used to do everything in a PC environment. And actually, I thought I'd try Mac because I got retired, and actually for me, for the purpose that I have now, maybe not so much if I was programming in a system, but for me, it seems to be working great for me for the way it works for my own purposes these days. And so I actually kind of like the system.
But he tells me, oh yeah, all you have to do is do this, this, and this. Wait, I don't have that button. I don't have that. Why do you have that? Why don't I have that? How did that happen? How'd you get that? And then he tries to explain. He goes, well, and he never does the same thing twice. You know, I go up there and I ask him, so how did you do? Well, you have to go into this. Well, what's that? Well, I don't know. And he can't find it on there. And that's the problem with Apple. Apple has so many different things in there.
Yeah, but you can just do a quick search and look for it. I say, okay, well, where's this located?
But you need to know the name.
Yeah, well, when you say, logical. How do you turn off? How do you turn off your Find My on there, and it tells you where to go to? I did that on PC too when I worked on PC. When I worked at work and I couldn't find something on PC, I'd do that on PC. I'd say, "Oh, where's this?"
He's just basking in the glory of my mistakes. He loves it when I fail. You know, he's one of those people that would tell you, say, yeah, I told you so. And he giggles while he does it because he loves it. He's a sadistic bastard. Okay? Just want you to know that. That's his true nature. Yep, it's always there, which does just compounds it all. But the good news is, I think the problems are solved. There may be a couple that may pop up out of the blue that I haven't thought about yet, but we'll deal with those when those happen. As long as all my main systems and things like that are working now, I can deal with the little problems with that. So as I said, I got the television set working on that just before we went to air. I'm very happy with myself about that.
And thankfully, everything was stored in iCloud. So
everything is always, now it's always going to be stored in iCloud for sure with it. And I got a better understanding of how iCloud works in relationship to the hard drive on your computer and things like that. At least I think I have a better understanding.
Yeah, like my last years of working, the government that I worked for, which is the Ontario government, they stored all the data and everything. All the data was moved to a cloud-based system, basically Amazon cloud. And yeah, it's the cloud systems work well.
Yeah. It's just, I guess I have a deep distrust of a company taking over my data, you know. Also, I'm thinking, well, if the internet goes down and I don't have it on my hard drive, I can't do anything until my internet comes back up, kind of a thing. But I guess that is it in the modern day now. We are dependent upon Wi-Fi, aren't we, for everything. So the one beauty about Apple, though, is if you have multiple Apple devices, like we have iPads, we both have Macs, we have our watches, we have our phones. It's all connected seamlessly pretty much. So, for example, I use the Notes feature on my Mac to write things or schedule things and whatnot. And it instantly shows up on my iPhone as well, or on my iPad. So if I'm somewhere and all I have is my phone with me, which would be the case usually, but I wrote something on the Mac, you know what? I can just go to the iPhone. There it is. With it. So yeah, it's great for that. And now with the latest operating system, and I'm not sure how to use this, why you would use it, you actually can screen mirror your phone onto your Mac. And I'm really not sure why you want to do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
See, this is the other problem with Apple products. They build in so many gimmicky things and make it sound like, oh, this is great, you're going to use this all the time. I say that I probably use 10% of all the different things that they say your iPhone and your Mac and everything can do. It's on a need-to-know basis. And sometimes I say to myself, I wonder if, and then I go looking to see if I can. But I sat down to start watching YouTube videos showing all the new features on the operating system and on the new iPhone and all that kind of stuff. I turned it off after 5 minutes. I couldn't keep up. There was just too much crap on there. And you'd have to be basically pausing the video every 30 seconds. And they're all like that. So too much information.
Like, I mean, I do pay a monthly fee for iCloud. We have a 2 terabyte iCloud right now. So far, that's doing
So far, that's probably enough. But
I mean, if we need another 2 terabytes, we can get another 2 terabytes. I think it's good insurance.
Yeah. Actually, I agree right now after this. Oops, there goes a thumb up.
And you don't have to, like a lot of people kind of figure, okay, I'll just get a spare drive and copy everything to the spare drive because then I've got that. But if your drive fails, you don't have that.
I find that external drives with this MacBook that I've got do not work that well.
And the other thing is I have an external drive that I have a bunch of data on, but I've got that data, so I don't have everything backed up on my Mac. But I've got some on my external drive, but every once in a while I take the external drive and back it up onto another drive. So I have 2 drives with the stuff on it, right?
Okay, I thought I was fanatic.
Yeah, anyway, so but that's a lot of old data that I don't use very much. And so I'll do that just to save on iCloud space. And then the other thing is that, but I mean, it's stuff that if it goes away, I don't really care. And because I'm a pack rat, I keep everything. And I saw where I was going. I mean, you can get a big drive and store everything onto a big drive. Yeah. But if that big drive doesn't work anymore, you're screwed.
Well, Apple has this thing called Time Machine on a Mac.
Yeah.
And the principle of that is you can set it up on a schedule so it backs up whatever you want it to back up from your Mac to an external hard drive. And it will do these frequently, and anything that has changed, it will replace it with the most recent change. Doesn't work.
Well, actually, I think you should revisit that because I had mine, I was getting an error from this latest update, and I found it was one file that was causing a problem. When I eliminated that one file, it's working fine.
But how do you figure out what file it is?
It gives you an error.
I didn't get errors. Yeah, it just wouldn't connect to it.
You have to look for it.
Yeah, whatever. I think I'll stick to the I'm not going to screw around and test fate here with it all. So, Derek says our local news reported that a thief here got caught because he crashed a car whilst trying to steal it. His mobile device called the police due to the crash and they tracked him with it. Yeah, when Walter had his accident, it called me and it called emergency services and everything. So there's a good thing.
Yeah, like my iPhone when I had the car accident last year, because I had an iPhone 14. When I got hit, and right after the accident, I was like in a daze. And I got out of my car started smoking, and I had to turn it off. And I got out of the car. I didn't even realize I kept getting these messages on my watch and stuff like that. And I got it came up and said, I got a voice from 911. It automatically dialed 911. And they said, it shows that you've been in a car crash. Are you okay? And I said, well, I think I'm okay. And they said, do you want emergency services? I said, yeah. And so emergency services came. But it also sent him a message because he's in my emergency contacts that I had been in a car crash.
So
and gave him a map of where we were.
Showed me where he was. So, yeah. So that's a good thing that's in there. Kay says, I got to tell you, my Fitbit has never caused that much of a problem. Well, the Fitbit doesn't know a hell of a lot.
I know a friend of mine that has a Fitbit, and he's debating about going to an Apple Watch. And I said, you should go for the Apple Watch because it's more expensive, but it's...
Well, whatever it works with. I don't know how much my sister will use the iWatch or not. She's really attached to her Fitbit too, so I don't know. Maybe I would be if I had one, but I don't have one.
I didn't know about the Apple Watch so much. I wanted an Apple Watch. So when it was his birthday one year, I bought him one and I bought one for myself. And so we got stuck.
We've got, But I love my iWatch. I really do. I do love it. Barb says, note to self, don't bite the apple. And Stephen, don't touch any more buttons. Yeah, easier said than done. I'm one of those people, if you put me in a room and there was a button that says, don't push this, I'd kind of walk over and go, well, maybe it can't be. Well, I wonder what. And yeah. Judy says, my husband always tells me never push those buttons. Yeah. Em says, I just canceled my Adobe service. Gee, it was such a hassle. Yeah, Adobe subscriptions.
Yeah, everybody wants a subscription.
They all want that. And it's just, I have some Adobe products too. I do not use. I used to use Photoshop quite a bit, or like was it Photoshop Elements, or what are they called? I had various versions of it over the years.
Yeah.
But I don't use it much for anything anymore because there's actually programs online too that
yeah,
do
like I mean, we
stuff.
have the Microsoft. I have Microsoft Word and stuff on mine too, and I paid a flat price for that when I got the Mac. If you're on PC, you have to buy a subscription for that.
Yeah. M says, until your iCloud is not big enough, there's more problem. Well, yep, we'll just have to buy more space. Simple as that. Patsy says, I've never been able to get Time Machine to work either. Yeah, I know. Have you? Oh, yeah, you were talking about it.
Mine works fine.
Mine was a little bigger problem than that. I don't know what it was. But anyways, Dubrovka says, do you like the new phones? Well, so far, but we just got them on Friday and just got them set up, and then I went through all this hell by deleting other stuff.
Yeah, well, you've been using it a lot, but
I don't
know if it was that big of an upgrade from iPhone 14. So
there's a lot of things that we'll do, and they've got some promises of some other things that are coming down the pipes for it. A lot of it's AI ready too, and they're going to put out some stuff AI on it that's supposed to be woo or whatever.
I mean, there are a couple of features on there that I like so far, but I haven't used it that much, and I think I'll like it. But so far, Steve's been having more problems with it than I have.
Yeah. Well, I reorganized my icons on it and everything. I got rid of some old crap that I didn't need anymore. And yeah, the camera in it, now that'll be the test, is the processing. So mine's bigger than Walter's.
Well, he has more memory on it than I have.
Oh, the phone, yeah. Yeah, so I've got 512 gigabytes, and Walter's got 256. But I got the bigger one because when we're on the road and when I'm processing videos to, put up from wherever we are, I need the processing space. I need the space on the hard drive for it because I was running out of that on my old phone. And these have a little faster processor in them as well in comparison to the 14s that we had.
It has a little better battery capacity as well.
And things like that. So, yeah, I'm sure as time goes on, I'll learn some new things about what's on there. But my brain right now is like...
Yeah, so we haven't really fully grasped what it does more than our other phones. But I'm sure... It was probably a good upgrade.
I don't regret spending the money on it. It was time to,
and we did get a decent. Well, we are getting a decent trade-in value on our old phones.
Like we're getting about $600 back on the trade-in on the old phone. So we dropped between the watch and the phone over $3,000. But we also bought Apple Care as well, which is a couple of $100. All that kind of stuff, but it is insurance, and I have had to use Apple Care once before when one of my phones decided it was overheating and was going to blow up in my pocket, and they gave me a brand new phone. That was all under Apple Care because that was, I guess, a little problem they had with some of them. It was sort of just on the tail of when the Samsungs blew up or burned, started fire.
Your phone just kept getting hot.
And hotter.
Yeah, and mine was fine.
Yeah. But anyways, they looked right after us.
Yep, right away. You went into Apple Store, it was just like, okay, here's a brand new one.
Now, if we ever buy another iPhone, an upgrade, I said to Walter, I'm not going to touch it. We're going to the Apple Store. We don't have one here where we live, but there's one, not like
half hour,
45-minute drive away. We can go in there and let them do it. Just let them do it because they will, and they're very efficient and they know what they're doing and the whole bit with it. And when you're transferring your data from your old phone to your new one and everything like that.
And they do a really good job of when you got your old phone and your new phone, it does transfer very well.
Yeah,
it's very organized.
It's very So if I hadn't pushed the damn button, lesson.
Well, if we had done this, if we do this in the future, we don't necessarily have to go to the store. We can do it because you know enough not to push
I will
those
forget.
buttons.
The next time we get a phone, I could be over 70. I may not. Right now, I'm losing my memory. Who knows? Anyways, I was losing my mind. My mind is back. So, we've come to the end of our time. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for listening to us.
For letting us go on and on about it. But then again, it's our show. So, what's coming up? Well, I've got my vlog on Monday. I've got Idiot Quilter on Tuesday. On Friday, we have So Chatty. I think we might do one. Someone asked if I had a video up about different presser feet. And I think we did do something with presser feet some time ago. But we're thinking we're going to do that maybe this Friday. But maybe actually, instead of just talking about them, actually showing how they work. That's in my head right now. And you're probably wondering, are we going to do the shirt thing? Yes, I have my fabric for the shirt that Walter's going to teach me how to make. This actually came from his stash. And it's already pre-washed and everything because he had done that with it. And he's got the pattern printed out. And it just needs to be taped together and whatnot. So, yeah, we just have to find a time when we're going to start doing it. And we're going to be doing it in bits and pieces. So I don't know when that's going to happen exactly. We have to get on with it. I think we're both hesitating because we're afraid, I may cut his throat with the rotary cutter. He may hit me with his, what do you have that's heavy? Sewing machine? Serger? Stick your cover stitch right up my, never mind. But okay, so that's coming too. So anyways, I hope everybody has a good weekend, what's left of today, and we'll see everybody next week. So have a good one. Bye, everybody.